Good evening. Well, it finally happened. NASA finally acknowledges the elephant in the room with regard to SLS. We'll lead with that. Elon Musk has extended his IPO pitch to non-US banks. Is that even legal? I guess we're going to find out. A company from Israel called Tomorrow.io has announced a 175 million financing round to deploy something called Deep Sky for weather service. Cesium Astro scales its operations with 450 million in equity and debt financing. Germany is splurging on mill space. Tethered orbital data centers is going to power AI in the future, maybe, if these guys have their way. The Economist claims that Musk's mega merger makes zero business sense. We'll look into that. And Interloon begins a study on a NASA grant for a helium-3 excavator. All this and our guest, Daniel Tompkins. From the news desk at the Center for Space Commerce and Finance, my name is Thomas Andrew Olson, and this is The Unknown Quantity. Of course, and as you know, this show is sponsored by the Center for Space Commerce and Finance. And what the heck do we do? Well, you know what? We champion and strengthen emerging space startups and space-adjacent enterprises worldwide through advisory, access, and advocacy. Our pitch events and world-class boot camps fortify startups to be better investor-ready. Now, a lot of our work, especially this podcast, is supported by our listeners and fans like you. Remember, the Center is a 501c3 nonprofit, so just go to our website, cscf.space/support, and click that donate button and drop a little in the tip jar. Thanks so much in advance for all your help. Now, my oldest space friend in the solar system, Michael Lane, is also here. Come on in, man. And okay.
Hey, how are you?
Okay, I'm all right. It's starting to warm up a little.
Veronica, Morty, good to have you.
I know, they're here.
Good to have you. Thank you, y'all. Appreciate it. Always just like log right in. Appreciate y'all.
Yep. I gotta give Morty some. I gotta give kudos to Veronica Ann. She was so early this time. She was like 57 minutes late on Monday, but boy, today she is 10 minutes early. She's great. But I also give kudos to Morty. He got 2 abstracts accepted for ISDC, one in the space elevator track and one in my business track. He hit the nail just perfect. So come on in, Morty, and do it. That's going to be fun.
Right on.
I'm up to. I've got 12 slots open. For the business track. I've got 9 of them filled now.
Great.
And so I hope to fill it out before the end of this month. So that means either 3 half-hour things or 1 half-hour thing and a panel.
Yeah.
So we still got a little to figure out.
Yep.
And so I hope to get that done soon, and then we can just advertise it all across the world and say, now come and see. And so I may do one myself, and I've got a special topic planned that's probably gonna shock the crap out of everybody because, well, that's what I do.
Sure. Yeah.
I owe it to the fans.
Right. And speaking of fans,
hey.
Dallas, thanks. Dallas, I owe you a phone call because Tom keeps talking about your untethered tether, so I want to talk to you about that.
Right.
Appreciate that.
I got some big 6-foot railroad spikes. We're gonna nail that thing and just let it wobble. Just let it shake, rattle, and roll. All right. But
Jason, good to see y'all. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. Yes, great to see you too, Dallas. It was a great chat. I'm sorry you live in Virginia. You need to reconsider your life choices, man. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just, my God, Virginia's turning into a hot mess. But okay, good luck.
And also, Joe, will you were just talking about ISDC. Joe and I are going to be there. We are 2 of your 12, right? Panels.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you're 2 of the 9 that I've got so
Right.
far. But yeah.
Yeah. Right on. Well, let's get into it. There's nothing really to report on my side. It's just been really busy. We're heads down, focused on writing a white paper. So, Alice, I'll send it to you. I'd love to get your feedback on it.
Okay. Okay,
but-
that's great. Here's the thing. It's starting to warm up here, so we're out of the low 20s, thing, and it's staying above freezing now. In fact, the other day, it was yesterday before I went to the gym. I finally got all the ferns out back in their normal places. I mean, we have a lot of ferns around here, and so a lot of them are in pots, and we just had them in the house with a bunch of other stuff. The other stuff is still a little more sensitive, what's left, and so finally, all that sheltering business I did, we'll probably take that apart by, let's say, Sunday afternoon. Because starting Monday, then we go into it. We're finally back to a standard, mid-February pattern, which is fine. It's 70 during the day and 49 at night, and that's that's perfect. So that's a winter I don't complain about because I know July is coming. So whatever it is, I'm cool with it.
Right. Yep. Right. For us, we're in what we have, which is a false spring. We get 2 or 3 really nice days that kind of shocks everything. I was out at the park walking with my mom that we do every week because of her, her heart surgery last summer. And the first daffodils are starting to pop up, and my mom is thrilled, right? My mom is over the moon because it's her favorite time of the year. So she's like, hurry, come look. As if they were going to just evaporate if I didn't get there right then and there.
Right.
I'm excited about it. But it's always a little bit of a false spring here. It's usually the end of January, early February, and then it gets cold. We have one more cold snap, and then we're done. But that snowcrete that Beanhoff is talking about, that stuff is awful.
It is. I know. As you know, I should probably know, I lived in the Northwest, about half my life. So I understand what you're going through. Okay, let's get to it. In case our guest actually does arrive, let's get through some news. I love this one just because it's fun. NASA finally acknowledged the elephant in the room because the Space Launch System is now a decade and a half old,
right?
And it continues to be dominated by 2 unfortunate traits. It's expensive and it's slow. What have we been saying for the last decade, at least, you and I?
Yeah.
And it's costed taxpayers $30 billion to date.
That is so
and
hard.
They're saying, and this guy's saying, even as it reaches maturity, the rocket is going nowhere fast.
He's like, it's still an experimental system, right?
Yep.
Even if it works, the next one's an experiment, and the next one's an experiment, and the next one's an experiment.
And apparently the wet dress rehearsal was now just a steaming pile of failure. And so it's up in the air whether they're going to roll it back into the VAB or they're going to just try to fix it on the pad.
Yeah, either way, it's delayed. It was, they were talking about launching on Sunday.
Right. Now it's a month from Sunday. Hopefully.
Yeah. And it might be a month of Sundays at this rate.
Yeah. That doesn't bode well.
No. We do not like that. It is bad.
And it's not just and this article is not just an impeachment piece. They were trying to throw some stuff in there. Like, and this one thing, if NASA were really going to do the best it could with this thing, there were options in the last 3 years. It's common in commercial rocketry to build 1 or more test tanks to stress the hardware and ensure its compatibility with the ground systems. But SLS hardware is extraordinarily expensive, so they didn't do it. And just the rocket costs $2 billion. Then when you add all the shit to it and put humans on top of it, it gets up to $4 billion. The launch tower itself costs $1 billion if a tanking test fails, and so there's never any discussion of building that. And so, due to cost, hardware scarcity is just one problem. And the low flight rate is going to be another one, obviously. I mean, this is what Duffy talked about even, before Jared got in.
Right, way back.
So, I'm just glad they're admitting this, and it's at least it's the message is getting out there, and I'm sure that's going to affect policy in the long run. I hope so. I hope so. I mean, I can live with 2. I can live with a 3 to land on the moon. I can even live with a 4 if I had to. But after that, man, that's it. We just can't do it. We can't afford to do it.
Tomlinson, the one of the 3 founders of the Space Frontier Foundation, he was pointing out to LinkedIn, to anybody who would listen. He was like, Jared, just scrub it. Just call it what it is. It isn't going to work. And move on, right? So I don't know.
This goes back to 2013 at a New Space conference in 2013. He was doing a talk, and at the end of it, he finished with the words "SLS delenda est." SLS must die. Carthago delenda est. Carthage must die. He made it SLS. One of the contractors at the time was ATK,
right?
And they were in the room, listening to it.
Right?
Gee, we're trying to get some sponsorship money out of them for our stuff, and that's like, oh God, So I get it.
Yeah. Okay, well, so it's going nowhere fast. I do wonder what the political fallout would be if Jared just, dropped the gavel and said, no, we're not going to do that. I don't know if he has the political clout to do that. I really don't.
I think he's gonna have to earn a little bit more of it with other things. Yeah. But once that trust factor, kicks in, then maybe he can go to Trump himself and say, Mr. President, these numbers don't work. They just don't work, dude. I'm sorry. We can only do so much.
I don't know if he has the political clout to buck the whole system.
Yeah.
Doug Plata, Dr. Plata's got a comment. He wants us to talk about the new bill. I was going to hold that till Monday, sir, because I don't know that much about it. It just came across my news feed this morning, and I haven't been able to dig into it. So unless Tom feels competent to do it, I don't. But I'll brush up on it for Monday.
Let's get that to Monday, because we have stuff. We're at this time of the night, we're not going to get through what we have. So next up, SpaceX opens IPO pitching to non-U.S. banks. Now,
you said you weren't sure if that was legal. I'm 100% sure it is. It's just unusual.
I assume that it is, but it just sounds weird to me. And it's like, but he's been holding meetings with banks from outside the U.S., according to people familiar with the matter. And foreign banks pitched for roles at their California office in mid-January. And one group comprises European banks, and another's made up of firms from other areas. And but they asked not to be identified. So I just thought it was interesting. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. Is he trying to oversell it, or do you just think he's going to get enough from the U.S. market?
Oh, I sent you and Sean this spider diagram that shows Tesla, XAI, and SpaceX, and all of the venture funds associated with it, including the Kingdom of Bahrain, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They are not going to have any problem with money.
I didn't think so either.
There is so much money out there for this.
And I thought people would be lining up around the block just in this country. So, why does he have to go elsewhere? So it's a little weird. I guess it'll all be clear someday.
I think it might be a play to start setting up shop overseas.
Yep, it could be. It could be.
It would not surprise me. It's a tactically smart move. Of course, keep main operations over here, but it surprises me how little footprint he has in Europe and Asia. Tesla has a big footprint over there. So I wondered if it was maybe connected to that, but it's all guesswork and supposition at this point.
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
I know that J.P. Morgan and Morgan Stanley are in the mix. I read about that a couple days ago.
They're one of the major ones. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
And
so it's curious, but I mean, it just puts more fuel into this thing. Yeah, I don't know what they would get out of doing it internationally, but I mean, talk about something that's going to be oversubscribed. People that, it really is curious who is going to be able to put money into this thing.
Okay. Dissolution of ITAR, as Jason says, yeah, I would love that. That would have saved a lot of companies in this country because of it. Okay, I guess we're still having an issue with our guests, but we'll see if it sorts out or not. Or maybe that thing that Doug just brought up, maybe we'll have plenty of time to talk about it if we don't have a guest tonight. We can
jump into it. Yeah,
that's okay. We always have things to talk about, Michael. Whether we sound like idiots or not, we always have things to talk about, don't we?
Always.
Okay, so here we go. Next thing, finally, money.
Money.
Tomorrow.io is an Israeli company, and they're getting a 175 million financing round to deploy something they call Deep Sky, which is the world's first AI native weather satellite constellation. And that's led by Stonecore Capital and HarborVest. It's intended to support the rapid expansion of the infrastructure and intelligence platform. That should be enough money to do it, Jess. But they want to do what they call unprecedented global atmospheric sensing and decision-making capabilities. And I guess they did it. They have a foundation already of execution, so that's why they got the money, I guess.
Yeah. 13 already 13 satellites already in space. And I kind of like this 60-minute global revisit.
Yeah.
So that's pretty speedy. We've had Mary Glantz on for her space weather company. So I wonder if this is an asset or a competitor. I don't know enough about either of these systems to make that claim, but I'm wondering what she thinks about this.
Yeah.
It's the first thing I thought of when I read this article.
What they have already delivers real-time atmospheric intelligence to 250 organizations. So I guess their business model is, of course, selling that data to a lot of other people, which means my Weather Channel app will improve a lot with data like that, especially at the hourly level. That will be fun. And I guess Goldman Sachs is an exclusive advisor to them with the financing, and Goodwin Procter as the legal counsel. So they're moving forward very, very quickly. But go ahead.
No, I was going to say at $175 million, that's the biggest deal that I know of this week. Is that correct?
No. In fact, our next story is Cesium Astro. They just scaled operations with 470 million in equity and debt financing. So it's more like 625.
Yeah.
I know. Right. I'm yawning.
So I was a foil.
It's such a poor week. Only 675 million this week, or 650 or 625. Oh well, yawn. Right. God.
Right.
Yeah, it's a slow week, dude.
Right.
I can't help it. It's just this is nuts. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
10 years ago, this would have been the deal of the century.
10 years ago, if we talked about this stuff and tried to predict it, everyone would have thought we were brain damaged.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I know almost nothing about Cesium Astro. So,
but they got a Texas Space Commission grant. So here we come. Here we come.
Those folks should write a check just for how many times we mentioned them on this show.
I know.
Give us $1,000 every time we mention it. We'd be up to that 10 million number pretty fast.
Yeah, pretty fast. As it is, we're at least adding a 0 to our previous application.
Right.
Even all the new features we're adding and new people and all this other stuff. This is going to
Yeah.
be. We'll see. We'll see. I'm hopeful. After last week, I'm very hopeful. So we got that going for us.
All right.
What else is going on? I'm just
Germany is my favorite topic these days, only because they're going all in on space.
Yeah.
You know, Japan thought they were cool with their $8 billion, and Germany is like, hold my beer. And here's our $41 billion. So,
well,
we didn't bring it up. It's not in the news this week, but Space Force is about to get, or has just gotten, a big increase. They're getting another nearly $15 billion for this next budget. They are and this isn't one of our news articles. It's just I'm comparing that to Germany.
Well, let's compare Germany to something else for a second. Everyone goes, "Oh, Germany's this big powerhouse, and they're going to boost the EU and everything." You look at their total GDP. The GDP of Germany is about the same as that of West Virginia. That's how much bigger we are than them.
Oh, that is
hard. Kidding. I'm not making this up. Somebody wrote about this a couple weeks ago. I thought, you got to be kidding me. But sure enough.
Wow.
West Virginia has the same GDP for its state that the whole country of Germany has. And so, when they're putting that kind of money into that stuff, they're taking away from somebody else. Big time when you think about it.
Yeah. Interesting. I described the space economy recently to my dentist, of all things. Right? Because that was a normal conversation. But he was asking me about space and why, and I'm like, look, people don't understand it, but right now it's an economy the size of a small North European country, and I named the Netherlands because it's roughly 600 billion a year, right?
Right.
And I'm like, and it's moving towards $1 trillion. That puts it the size of Spain. And my dentist was like, wow, that's really a big deal. Like, he had no idea. But our economy is being measured against substantial nations. Mm-hmm. I am surprised about West Virginia versus Germany. That sounds pretty cool. I'm going to look that one up.
And if I have to admit it, I kind of do the same thing. I don't talk to my dentist about this, but I do talk to my chiropractor.
Okay, right.
I see him like once a month for an update, just for a little boost. And he's all in. He's fascinated about what I do. And so he always has questions. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Okay. And Sean talks to his astrologist. This I believe. Absolutely. Yeah. And he should be talking to his astrologist about our guest, I think. I don't know. I'm not ranking on Sean. Poor guy. He's trying so hard. I don't know what's going on with our guest tonight. We just no
worries.
Lost it. But
let's talk about Germany a little longer here, because Jason's talking about it's focused on infrastructure, right?
Yep.
And we've talked a lot about sovereignty, national sovereignty, and trying to make some of these systems work. I love that they're working on infrastructure.
This is in keeping with what they've been doing what the whole Eurozone has claimed they were going to do, was try to claw back some of their own control and not be so dependent on US-based stuff.
Right. And not to start getting into politics of it, but this is a reaction to our stance on NATO lately.
Yeah.
So it does make sense for these strong nations to develop their own support systems.
In this particular case, all the money they're spending is for nothing commercial, really. It's all mill space.
Yeah. But I mean, following America's example, that's got that's got legs, right? They're going to be able to do something with that, especially if they follow the commercialization model that we've pioneered. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think, you know, I was assuming my first international office was going to be Luxembourg, but it might be Berlin.
Yeah.
No joke about that. Yeah. So, yeah. In fact, I've got a call scheduled with the folks at Sprint, which is their R&D arm. It's a little bit like NASA, and we've got they want to talk about space elevators. So I've got a call with them for next week. So, yeah. I don't know what that's going to lead to. Maybe nothing, but maybe something. So,
right.
Yeah, curious about that.
Okay. So next up, some people at Penn engineers have come up with an idea for an orbital data center that wants to power it all with solar, and kind of looks like big leaves on a big tree. And they think they can do it all. A leafy plant with stems holding the computing hardware and branching leaf-like solar panels. So it's a long tether with identical nodes that carry computer chips, solar power systems, and cooling hardware, forming a modular chain that can be extended by simply adding more nodes, which is kind of elegant in its design architecture. Yep. There is still the question of maintenance. Right. That's that I think about when I look at these things. It's because
one of the things.
You're not going to send up a capsule and an astronaut crew every time one chip needs to be swapped out. So what do? You see, how do you maintain the thing efficiently and cost effectively? That's the one gap in the plan that no one's talking about.
Right. Two things struck me when I read this, and I had to read it twice because I'm like, first of all, my BS meter was going off. Starting point, University of Penn School of Engineering, absolutely solid. Like, that is a solid school that knows what the hell they're talking about. But here's my point. Here's my question, though, right? I really like their design, right? It's all circular. It's what we've been talking about for a little while about disk sats, and I've referred to them as IKEA sats because they're flat packable satellites. It's what Plata and his team and Sean and I and you were all talking about modularization and standardization. So from that perspective, I'm totally on board with this plan. Again, you're right. Maintenance is still an unanswered question. But here's a line here that just kind of made me scratch my head. It says, and I'm going to read the quote and then I'm going to comment on it. Quote, by contrast, the tethered-based architecture makes use of decades of research and in-space testing of tethers. The use of repeated modular nodes allows incremental scaling similar to adding beads to a necklace without fundamentally changing the structural concept as capacity increases. Mm-hmm. So totally on board with their modular elements, but this line about decades of research and in-space testing of tethers, I can speak from authority that is fucking nonsense. We have very little research in space testing of tethers, not nearly enough to design this system around. We're gonna fly one of the first, not the first, but one of the first materials in a couple months, and that's my team. And like, trust me when I tell you we don't know that much about tethers in the sky right now. So I just read that, and then I'm like, did that say what I think it said? And I read it again, and I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm gonna count this up as a PowerPoint space company until we find out that they actually have money in engineering.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
It is, but the idea on the surface is an interesting idea. The idea on the surface is an interesting idea.
Yep. On the surface.
Yeah.
I guess I just should mention this now because it's so funny. I'm just getting a crap beat out of me now over the West Virginia thing, and they're probably right. I probably just read the wrong article and was just misinformed. I didn't bother to check it. That's my bad. And so in response, I did check it. I did check California. California's GDP is like 4 trillion. So Germany beats California by about 20%. Okay. I've just gotten a word from our producer. We're just going to keep going because there's no response from our guest tonight. And so, well, now I'll kick him at very minimum. They'll kick him to next Thursday.
Sure.
But because we have a great guest on Monday. But so that's. I'm
sorry. I'm reading the comments.
I know they're hysterical.
And they're like, ChatGPT says, and
yeah. I'm just being hosed with a fire hose.
All right,
okay, that's fine.
Good. I mean, thank you, y'all.
Yeah,
appreciate
I appreciate it, and
always good to be fact checked. Always good.
But you're talking to a guy who's just brazen and just doesn't give a shit what people think about him. So it's I'm past a certain age where I just don't care, and so it's
well, I care. Thank you. And then Dallas is walking back his tether argument about the anchor. So Dallas, I still want to talk to you about that. So appreciate that. Yeah. Okay.
Joe's here. Yeah, Joe's here. He considers his space may be viable. No one has yet to try making one of significant size. Yeah. Lots of educated guesswork. Absolutely.
Yeah. I saw that. It could be well, I'm going to give a plug to Doug. It'd be a great way to start testing in your new business line, doing material sciences on orbit at low costs. So I would do that if I was doing a bunch of data center development. Michael is lying. Michael is lying. He does not care as much as he says he does. All right.
Let's come up with a whole new economic plan for West Virginia, so they can get they can boost their GDP up to like 4 or 5 trillion.
Right.
They need to do better.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about this mega merger that everybody is talking about. So we definitely need to jump on that bandwagon.
Oh yeah.
All right. So Monday they added XAI, freaked everybody out. So it immediately boosted Musk's net worth by north of $100 billion that afternoon. So he had a good day. And the combined company SpaceX plus XAI, which hosts both X Grok, and the old Twitter, right? All of that into one organization. And now people are like, wait a second, does that make sense? I definitely think it does. But it's valued at north of $1.25 trillion.
Right. And maybe that's what they're talking about. I'm kind of frustrated right now because I had 2 articles about this from 2 different sources. One was Space News, who I already know won't let me in because it's too many for the paywall, and I'm just not going to do it. And now The Economist is doing the same thing. Now I saw this article, the whole thing, this afternoon when I pulled it up, and now they're pulling this shit. So I apologize again. I'm so tired of this. I have an idea to fix it, but God, I'd have to take like 6 months off to do it. I would apply a cable TV model to online punditry. And so,
Right.
the average person pays, say, $50 a month, and they have access to 35 different sites through the paywall of their choosing. Now, that only gives you about, maybe each site only gets a buck a month, but you multiply that times, 200,000 subscribers, and it's not
Right.
chump
It
change.
adds up.
That's a plan that could work.
Yep. All right. So far as I know, there's no path into that SpaceX super merger. If you don't already have access to it, you're not going to get access to it. Have you heard anything different about that?
I have not. All I have heard is that if you want in through the back end before it closes, you have to be an accredited investor. And I don't know what the minimum is.
It's not even accredited investors. Yep. It currently have stock in one of those companies. Yeah. Currently have stock.
Okay. Well, then
is what I was hearing.
A couple of viewers of our show should be happy then.
Well, I know of at least 2 people on these calls that are out. I am not. I have no dog in that fight. I know several people that have a dog in that fight. Somebody who used to work for me has made about 4 times what they put in 3 years ago. So good for them. Congratulations. It's enough to buy a house somewhere not in Seattle. So good for them. Like, they've done really well. Right. Yeah. So, but as far as I know, you can't get in unless you already have access to it, which is why that web of, let me see if I can pull that graphic up. Just give me a second. Talk about something else, and I'm going to pull up this graphic because I thought it was pretty interesting. Dang it.
I know it back on the that maintenance part. I just noticed that Veronica said that it needs to be automated and with AI. The issue is maybe we have robots capable of that kind of fine-tuned work. They haven't been tested, obviously, in a space environment. Because I've swapped out processors in my life, so I know what it takes, and it's and doing it, and so it's not the AI, it's the robotics, and they have to be very robust and be able to stay on station for a long period of time to do that kind of work.
Right.
And they need to have the supplies. Like, here's a packet of spare processors you can feed in there. And so.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of little detail stuff that needs to be done on these things.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not sure everybody can see this.
Yeah. This is fun.
XAIX. It's hard to see on this graphic, but Sequoia is right in the center, so they've got investments in all 3. Mm-hmm. And here's our friend over at Starbridge.
Yep.
So we know somebody's going to do fine.
Oh, Mike's very happy, I'm sure.
Yeah. No details about that investment. I am 99% sure, and I hope I'm not violating a trust, that they got theirs through a secondary raise, a former employee wants to cash out, they're retiring, they're buying something, blah, 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 they're cashing out. And those are the only shares on the market is in these secondary positions. And there's an entire industry dedicated to transferring shares from old employees to new people. And that's how one of my old employees was able to get in. And they got in 3 years ago. if you look at the track record, somebody want to do a quick research on that, but it was about $200 billion, $125 billion when they got in. And, current price tag is 800 billion. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they put in enough to buy themselves a new house in some place not in Seattle. So, so this is the web. This is the web of all the organizations. So Fidelity itself could probably fund this whole thing. Here's Qatar, right? I don't see and here's the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They put in billions, 6 billion, right? Another 6 billion from Qatar, right? So the idea that they need to go outside to get more money, that's nonsense.
I know. So why is he doing it? But it just reminds me, because last year in politics we had the One Big Beautiful Bill, right? It was huge. But now it looks like we have the One Big Beautiful Merger to be followed by the One Big Beautiful IPO.
Right.
Or the mother of all IPOs, or the greatest IPO of all time. I don't know what kind of new acronym you can put on it.
Right.
But someone will make something up and it'll stick in the history books.
Yeah. Somebody will name this thing for sure. Yeah. So this is XAI, the original Twitter X, and all the investors out of Twitter have cashed out, right? When they took it over. Yeah. So these are all within the last 3 years, 4 years, 3 years, whatever it is. 4
years now. 4 years now.
One guy I don't see on this list is I talked to Steve Jurvetson, not Jorgensen, our friend at Starbridge.
Yeah.
The kind of famous Silicon Valley royalty. Yep. I talked to him, and he was at a Space Frontier Foundation event, and he was kind of curious about our elevator. This was maybe 6 or 7 or 8 years ago, and I'm like, hey, why'd you put money into SpaceX? And his answer was, because we missed putting money in to Musk when he pitched us for PayPal, and we're not going to make that mistake again. Right? So, because Jurvetson is he's a space nerd, and I'm like, why'd you put it in? And this was kind of a wild conversation. Yeah. So I'm a little surprised I don't see Jurvetson's firm on that list, but maybe that's not an inclusive list.
He tends to hide out.
Yeah.
I guess he's still, living off, there's still that background problem that maybe be holding him back a little bit still, even. Because Tim Draper's certainly out there.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. That's a guy I'd like to get on this show sometime. But
that'd be amazing. Super fun. We got one more news article about Interloon. You want to jump into that?
Okay, sure.
Only because this is a badass looking robot. I thought the graphic of it was pretty cool. We always, love Alan Boyle.
Absolutely. This is one. This is Interloon, right? Yep.
Jason, you were just asking about Bellevue, Washington. Interloon's not in Bellevue. It's actually in downtown Seattle, and Meyerson is from. His wife is from Tacoma, so he kind of bounces in between. So I'm not sure exactly where he is specifically, but I don't think they're north. I think they're south. I don't think they're up in Bellevue. I think they're on the south side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're building robots, right? They've got that contract, the $300 million contract, and now they're building robots for helium-3. So
There's a
I thought
resource
this
in
was a
lunar
great
soil
quote.
so valuable it could ignite a 21st century.
Thanks, Sean. Yeah, helium-3, super valuable. This is Myerson's quote. In the US, we produce about 1 kilo of helium-3 per year from tritium decay. On the moon, we intend to extract 10 kilos of helium-3 per year for our first helium-3 harvester operation in the 2030s. Mm-hmm. If we had helium-3, we would need 100 kilos. All right, if we had helium-3 fusion, we would need 100 kilos to power a city the size of Seattle for 1 year. So that's a pretty big market. If you had fusion,
if only you had helium-3 fusion, yeah.
Well, on fusion, right? Reminding everybody that that's not his bet.
It's barely paying for itself now. The latest experiments I saw, it just produced just a little bit more power than it actually used. And we're talking, watts. But Sean's right. I mean, we do have there is a business case for helium-3 because it's used in quantum computing and it's used in other area where extreme chill is really needed. So at least you can make that business case extremely if you really stretch things like Doug did a minute ago. I just wanted to throw that out there. I think I don't know if he's just throwing me a bone or having fun with me at my expense. What would be the GDP of West Virginia if it had the population density of Austin from immigrants from India with average American per capita income? And the answer is 7.1 trillion. It'd finally be bigger than Germany. Okay.
That's how it gets there.
West Virginia, I hope you're paying attention. That's the goal you have to shoot for. I am here to consult. Call me. Let's do this.
I think the key might be bringing in immigrants, but Dallas is saying Interloon won't likely be using SLS. Boy,
you think?
Worthy of 3 exclamation points. So thanks for that.
Bud. Yeah. They will. Well, your business model's blown out of the water if they do that. Is the problem there?
I was doing my own work for Liftport this week, and it looks like the price to the moon right now, the kind of official price, is between $500,000 and $1 million per pound. Per kilo.
That's still a lot.
It's still really high. I would really like to verify that. That's not something I have not yet found a credible source for that number. Mm-hmm. So putting it out to the fans, if anybody can find a credible, citable source that can give me tonnage going to the moon and what their price is, I would really love that. So since everybody else has got their robots fired up and doing research, if you want to point me in that direction, I just haven't run that query yet.
The people I would love to ask about this is Firefly.
Yeah.
Is Firefly.
Yeah.
They've had a successful landing, and they're going to do another one this year, I'm sure. I'm positive of it. Yep. They're going to do another one because their rockets are short and squat, and they'll probably land just fine. So you think they could take whatever they're building right now and scale it up to do some raw tonnage? That might change the equation a little bit. So between Firefly and Blue Origin and SpaceX, you ought to be able to come up with something. Changes the equation a little bit. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I'd like to know who's getting those numbers and where they're getting them from. Because you can't count on me, obviously.
Sure.
And according to Dallas, SpaceX website says 100 million per metric ton. That also seems.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that. All right. We've got a couple minutes to kill. Since we do have a really lively audience here, I wanna talk about this thing that we talked about on Monday. This space ideation challenge.
Oh yeah.
I think people should be talking about this thing. It only showed up in our news feed kind of by accident. It's got credibility, it's got legs, there's money, there's smart people involved with it. You all asked, I think it was Plata asked the other day, like, who was funding it. I never did get the answer to that. But I think there's something here, right?
Yeah.
A 3 to 5 page paper, a market shaping policy initiative.
Like that.
It addresses a clear, high impact space goal, right? I mean, y'all on this call are all smart people. So go give us your list. And I want to know if anybody is going to submit for this, because I think a lot of people on this call should submit for this. I haven't decided whether we will or not. One of the things that was in the news article was, quote, not a business plan. So if you want your business plan to stay private and run your business plan, don't submit it here. Right. I think our business plan is big enough that we could submit it there as a national policy element, and there's plenty of room for, us and other people to be involved with lunar development, right? But there's some pretty smart folks on this call. I would love to see if anybody's got any. I'm doing it right now. I'm sharing the link right now, y'all. I would love to see if anybody has any ideas. There's a carve out specifically for students, $25,000 for students. 125,000 total. Individual prizes are between 5 and 25,000. So it's good, right? It's trying to spark stuff. I both love and hate the UCF's logo, because International Space University was there first, but they blew it in America. So this is America's Space University. I mean, seriously, that's good branding, y'all. Yeah. I haven't been there. Sean and Tom were there, or saw representatives last week. So did Dallas. But yeah, I'd love to see if anybody has any comments here. Yeah, Dallas, I've seen that. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent that you're listening live. There's a lot of talent after the fact that watch or listen to us on Apple.
Right. Oh yeah, I'll say the link for the folks on Spotify. It's the Space Ideation Challenge. It's business.ucf, University of Central Florida.edu/space-ideation-challenge. I know that's a mouthful. I'm going to say it again. business.ucf.edu/space-ideation-challenge.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see if anybody's got anything. I know that
Joe's coming in and saying, I've got some ideas. It'd be a great fit. So
yeah,
get on it, man.
No kidding.
We're on a roll, dude. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think there's one of those. This is one of those things that should spark people's attention. I haven't seen anything about this in LinkedIn. And last month, the Aurelia Institute out of Boston, they offered a $20,000 prize for I think they limited it to 6 paragraphs and a picture. They wanted to talk about low Earth orbit stuff. Yeah. I just wonder, I mean, Morty, would you submit space elevator stuff to a competition like this? Because that is not necessarily a business plan. That's a policy decision. I'm sure Dallas has some ideas about this thing that didn't make it into a business plan. So yeah, so I don't know. I think it's worth talking about for sure. Okay. That's all I got for it. If anybody has anything they want to throw it in the chat, we can talk about it. Otherwise, we can close it down.
Yeah. And I still don't know a whole lot about that new bill that's supposedly being.
That's what Plata was talking about earlier.
And Sean just said the Space Frontier Foundation posted a shift in space policy, whatever.
Yeah, that's well, I can pull that email up. Give me a second.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so it's this, right?
Probably on one of my other emails, but I don't have to look behind me to get it. So.
Yeah, I got it. I got
it
right
here. Here we go. Cool.
So this came out yesterday. We all know Whitesides, so we know him. I don't know this guy, Herodopoulos. It's probably Greek, and I'm pronouncing it wrong. Herodopoulos, maybe that's it. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. We got 4 on the right side, 1 guy on the left side, all supporting a bill. I mean, it's kind of nice to see bipartisanship, even if it's lopsided. So good job.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bill yet. It is an amendment to the Reauthorization Act. As far as I know, that has not been signed and has not been sent to the White House. So I felt like this press release is a bit premature. It's like, yeah, it's a win, but
it's not in there yet.
It hasn't crossed the finish line yet. So I'm like, I don't really know if I want to talk about it yet. So Doug, that to kind of speak to your request earlier. Of course, I love James Munsey. I'm going to read his quote directly. The amendment aligns U.S. law with our history as a frontier nation, says James Munsey, co-founder and current policy chair of the Space Frontier Foundation. Commercial space is no longer experimental or peripheral. Congress is clearly stating that private human presence and economic activity beyond Earth are not only encouraged, but essential and expected outcomes of U.S. space policy. So yeah, it's cool. We're gonna have space stations, and they should be commercial. The policy requires the fullest possible commercial use of space and a growing and enduring human presence beyond Earth. So can't argue with that. Everybody I think on this call is going to support it. The only reason I hesitate to kind of talk about it is because it hasn't crossed the finish line yet. But I do. Sean Mahoney, we've had him on guest here many times. We had Munsey as a guest early on also. This language matters because it creates a durable policy. It does not mandate programs or spending, but it tells every federal agency, investor, and entrepreneur the United States intends to support commercial space activity and sustained human presence beyond Earth over the long term. So
it also really adds to that, the buy the ride narrative that the foundation has been promoting for over 30 years.
Yeah.
So it's nothing. It's no dramatic departure from what the foundation has been saying.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
That's all I got, and we tap danced the whole hour. So
we tapped the whole hour, and it went by quickly, and it was a lot of fun, and it was wild. But
I love the interaction, y'all. That would have been a hard hour without you. So thank you.
Even when I'm full of shit, I do. It's okay. It's okay. I forgive you guys. At least now. I'll probably get even sometime. Don't worry about it. Trust me.
Yeah.
It will happen. Okay, so on that note, it's going to be fun. On Monday, our guest for Monday will be Wendy Austin, who's the North and Central Florida Regional Director of a nonprofit organization called FIRST, all caps, a robotics community that inspires kids to build their own robots. And they have different programs from K through 12. And I see what they can do.
I love FIRST.
I saw their demo at SpaceCom on the show floor there. It's absolutely astounding. And we had that because last week, we had that little clip that I did, but we just didn't get the video to work. Maybe between now and then we'll get the video to work. But we'll have Wendy there to tell us all about it. And so it's going to be amazing. And I can't wait to have that conversation, do the show. So y'all got to be here to see this. It's
I didn't realize that this was the first people. I am a big fan of the FIRST robotics program. So super cool. Did not know that that's who our guest was. That's absolutely what we're doing. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So be there for then, as always, 8 p.m. Eastern. And from the news desk, the Center for Space Commerce and Finance, for Michael Lane and Sean Key, I remain Thomas Andrew Olson. Keep watching the skies.